Training employees. So different kind of relationships have different standards and norms. So with family, in personal relationships like spouses or things like that, it has certain expectations, different boundary issues. And with employees, it's a more professional, obviously with your family and your friends, you should be professional also. But, with employees, you have HR. So you have different expectations and standards in different situations and different relationships. And there's different kinds of even spacing. Like there's personal space, there's social space, there's intimate space. So again, the standards and the expectations and the norms are different based upon the types of relationships. So in regard to employees, obviously, what I'm trying to say in the general sense is that everything that you have to do with employees has to be, even much more professional than even with family and friends. I think the integrity level is the same, but with a family member, you could, probably be a little bit more direct, obviously, than with an employee. I mean, candor is still an attribute that applies, across the board. So as long as you're respectful of an employee, candor can be actually, a part of your mission statement and culture, that we're going to be honest with each other, we're going to be direct, but there has to be rules of the road, rules of engagement. This is part of how you do the culture and how you do the training. So in terms of training employees beyond that, one thing obviously is modeling. You can't ask for anything that you don't model yourself. So, actions do speak louder than words. I've spoken about this other places. So modeling is key. And also modeling helps people understand what things look like in practice. Like I've used the example before of a coach. A coach can just do X's and O's, but if they actually know how to demonstrate it, or if there's videos or whatever the other formats, then it's much more, a lot of people learn actually by watching or by doing, as opposed to just by explaining. So those are different mediums. Now, another important aspect of training employees is feedback. And this should be like 360 feedback. They should be giving you feedback and you should be giving them feedback. Again, you can talk about rules of the road and engagement. What's the tone of the feedback? What's the content of the feedback? What's the format of the feedback? But feedback is critical to success. And a lot of companies don't do this well because they're so concerned just with the outside performance that they don't focus so much on what are the steps and progresses of how to get to that performance. And a lot of management, frankly, is not great communicators. They avoid certain topics, or they're overly blunt, or they don't listen enough, or they don't know how to tie it to an employee's style. So there's a lot of nuance there. I mean, you have to really, as a good manager, not only do the type of feedback that you want to give, whether it be candid or structured to a certain format, but you also have to tie in all these other factors that I just mentioned, like listening, employee style, length of time with the company, things of that nature. So that's the second element. And then the third element, I think, is relates to, cultural fit. Like, what are the norms of the company? Like, does the company believe that everything should be done or a lot of things should be done by teamwork? Does the company believe in more individuality? Does the company believe in, doing things slowly, doing things quickly? Like Facebook famously had work fast and break things. I mean, Facebook has broken so many things. I mean, look at the trouble they're in now. But then they did realize, obviously, that wasn't a great slogan as they got bigger, that they actually changed it to work fast and have good infrastructure. And then I think they changed it after that. So in terms of training employees, realize that, it has to fit into your culture. It has to fit into your norms, that it has to be, obviously, professional to the nth degree. And the communication has to be nuanced to cover all the different factors that I mentioned.